Why overcomplicate repetitive moves? Hire a carrier direct, get it done right. Learn how Auto Hauler Exchange helps shippers work direct with carriers without losing time and money on a broker. Today, Jake Berkal of Auto Hauler Exchange walks us through the digital booking process so you're ready to go. So please say hello in the live chat, ask your questions, share your thoughts, and learn from the best on ATI Auto Business. What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to Industry Logistics on ATI Auto Business, where everyone learns more about the automotive industry. We are talking about how to book loads on Auto Hauler Exchange. So what I'm going to do here is, please help me wish a warm welcome to my co-host every Thursday, Sue.
Hey.
See me and hear me okay?
I can. Can you see and hear me?
I can see you. I can hear you. I can give applause. All right, show 181. What we're doing today is we're going to talk with Jake of Auto Hauler Exchange, because I said, all right, listen, guys, we need to go back through, right, how it works, how you get signed up. Mm-hmm. I believe that, I'll go to camera one on this, I believe that every auto transport software company, 20, 30 plus companies in our space could all benefit from a refresher. You've got a lot of new carriers have no idea how to use.
In fact, if he will, my driver is ready to be set up with him. I wonder if we can set him up today, because weren't we going to do one anyways?
Whoa,
that'd be
what
kind
a
of cool.
Challenge! All right, well, let's keep that. Who's the driver? Who is that?
It's called Biscuit Logistics. He's out of Morrow, Georgia.
All right, so let's get. Where's the driver?
Right now, he's in Knoxville.
Is he accessible by phone and stuff?
Yeah. Well, until he gets to IA and starts picking up, if we have to call him.
Okay.
We might have to wait in between, but we'll see.
That's cool. All right, well, let's see what happens, but I like that a lot, because this is real world stuff.
Yeah. It would be real cool to actually show somebody going through the process. That'd
be amazing. So this is so exciting. All right, so it's Auto Hauler Exchange. You've heard about Auto Hauler Exchange on ATI before. You're going to keep hearing about Auto Hauler Exchange, and this is helpful, right? Like, this is your sign-up screen.
Yep.
What do I need to do to get signed up? It's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
Email address.
They're actually one of the easier ones to sign up with.
Thank you. Yes. Because they're not all easy.
No,
they're not.
The bigger brokers have made it extremely difficult to get signed up.
And there's reasons why, but still, even more reason for more education and proactive ATI outreach. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. This is the dashboard. Right? Dashboard, you know it, you understand it. That's another thing I like about, I was talking to Aaron about this Tuesday night, is that you have to understand what you're looking at. The users do. Maybe not everybody. If you're high level, you can handle like a jet plane co-pilot dashboard, right? With a million buttons.
And here's the thing, though. Most of these guys are drivers, and they're driving. They need something easy, accessible, push a button. And that's one of the easier ones to deal with, honestly. It's in and out. It's done. So... awesome. I like them too.
That's awesome. So, and then, we've been talking about Instabook. In fact, I've got my Instabook list right over here. I'm working on making a short. We're going to do an Instabook show in October. So, I'm excited about, book now. And then your checkout screen and stuff. So we're going to go through some of the screens and some of the process.
Cool.
It's ATI. It's the ecosystem's neutral zone. This is where every company can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to do it anywhere else, because everywhere else it's a company podcast. So do it here. Do it on ATI. Where everyone learns more about how they all go. This is Jake. Jake works at Auto Hauler Exchange. He's our guest today. This is a carrier that booked a load with an OEM using Auto Hauler Exchange.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that what everybody wants?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you can work directly with an OEM using Auto Hauler Exchange? You can't do that. You're not going to set up a relationship with an OEM through a broker. No, that's not going to happen.
No, and that's their customer.
That's why they're sharing that story. That's amazing. That is, amazing. Got to start somewhere. Know your ecosystem, everything new, used, auctions, dealers. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to learn about? Put it in the live chat. On the Tuesday show, we had ClearPath TMS. We're going to be learning more about ClearPath here on Thursdays, which we had Aaron on recently.
Yeah.
And then he's going to come back again later this fall. And but Tuesday night, what we did is we learned more about their team. I love learning team members because you know this too.
Once you find somebody that you like and they like you,
and you can actually take it to the next level. Again, I go to camera one. I don't know why more auto transport tech companies have not taken me up on this.
Yeah.
You don't realize when the carrier calls your company, they don't know. Do they know anybody?
No.
Don't you hate that when you don't know
I used to
anybody?
have a lot of people at Ready Auto that were like, I would have considered them friends as much as I talked to them.
Right.
And anything I had a problem with, or if I, load was messed up or something like that, they were on it. But nobody that I knew, it's been over 10 years, everybody's
right. And that happened organically. What? There is a jillion social media, there's golf events, there's all this money and time spent on this. But who's your team? Oh, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to bother with that, Jay. Okay. Thursdays is where you'll find us. And last Thursday, we had Brian. Wow. So we have some more. There's some more. There's already more crazy trucking lawsuit news already.
Oh, really?
Yes. Crazy. So, in fact, here, show me the truck. Are you ready?
Yep.
Brace yourself.
Oh, that's what, yeah.
Not that. Okay, here we go.
That one.
Saw that one. Yeah, no, that
was just a teaser.
That was a teaser. Here we go. Now, hang on one second. Make sure I get the sound here, because you got to get this in high fidelity. Okay, let's back that up. The tension builds. Okay, this circle's going to point out what you want to look at.
Okay. You guys Oh, that's a tank.
Train versus tank.
Was it on a trailer or something?
This tank.
It's on a trailer and a truck.
It's on a step deck. The step deck is stuck.
Oh my god.
I mean, this happens.
Literally stuck on it?
You know, you can see that he's totally beveled up there. Yeah.
Oh, good lord. That's horrifying.
Isn't that crazy?
Hope the guy got out of the truck.
And here, look at the truck stuck on the. Look at the step deck stuck.
Yeah, it's up against those poles and stuff.
So he's kind of. You can see.
He took that turn too short.
You see him right there. He's hooked on it.
Uh-huh.
You know, he's got no traction on his rear tires.
Yeah.
I can't get off. Yeah, and he did. And he did. He probably, yeah, look at that. He did. He cut too early.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow. I mean, he did jump out of the truck before the train hit, right?
Well, we don't have footage of that, but...
Oh, man.
But what we do know is that now everybody's going to get named in the lawsuit. They're going to blame the accident on whoever manufactured a part of the tank.
Because they know they have money.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Who's got money here? Insane.
I wonder who the tank belonged to. The government?
Probably.
Hopefully.
Right. So speaking of, all right, so we knew about this.
Right.
Right? Why did you make that comment, Jay? All right, right, in which a drunk driver smashes into this truck. It's documented that he was drunk.
Wow.
He was above the legal limit.
Yeah.
Smashes in this truck, and they got awarded money.
Yeah.
Because, hey, man.
They said the bumper was not at the right.
Trucker's always guilty, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Trucker's always guilty until proven guilty.
Yeah.
That's kind of how this works.
That's crazy.
So now Daimler Truck is the latest victim of a 9-figure nuclear verdict. A day after the Wabash, and that's what happens too. Now the lawyers are all going to go running all the other trucking companies, right? Ooh, what did we get them on that one? Let's go hit these guys. An Alabama jury has hit Daimler Truck North America with a 9-figure verdict after finding a defective design caused severe injuries to a trucker involved in a rollover. Okay, let's remain fair and balanced. Maybe. On September 6th, the jury in Clark County Circuit Court put Daimler Truck on the hook for $160 million, a paltry sum compared to the $420 of Wabash.
Look up Cheetah.
Wabash. For a rollover. Here's the key. It was a rollover crash of a new Western Star truck. The attorneys argued that manufacturer's roof and driver's seat designs were defective and unreasonably dangerous. The roof was defective and unreasonably dangerous, and the seat was defective and unreasonably dangerous. At the center of the lawsuit is a crash that occurred in June 2022. This stuff always takes time. Actually, 2 years to get through the trial. That's pretty fast. This guy was driving the 2023 Western Star. It's a brand new Western Star. It's 2022, and it's a 2020 brand new truck. A pickup truck pulling a trailer encroached his lane, forced him off the road, causing a rollover crash. Wow. A pickup truck encroached his lane. Man, let him slam into you. But anyways, guy rolls over, 360, becomes a quadriplegic. So it's tragic. Files a lawsuit against the truck. The other guy doesn't have any money, so he ain't going to pay for it. Claiming both the roof and seat designs of the brand new truck were defective and unreasonably dangerous, and that they knew about it. And the law firm said the roof design was from 1995 and hadn't changed in 30 years. And now we get into pull-down. Here, this is where you get into the weeds. Let's get into the weeds. A pull-down system, okay. They claim the Star truck did not have an automatic pull-down safety seat. A pull-down system lowers the seat when an impact is detected, putting the driver in a safer zone in a rollover crash when the roof caves in. Right? Because they're assuming it'll cave in. The truck he was driving did not have a pull-down safety seat. And however, Daimler Truck does offer a pull-down safety seat as an option. Street argued that the manufacturer had a duty to include the pull-down safety seat. According to a report by National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, fewer than 1% of Class 8 trucks have a pull-down safety seat. Of course, that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant, Your Honor. The study found the need for a 240% increase in cab strength to provide adequate protection to occupants in a rollover crash. Wow, that's a lot. That's 240%. The crash involved a 360 rollover, argued the truck could not withstand the 360 rollover event, and even a 180 would have been catastrophic given the age and design of the truck's roof. So, sorry, I muted you because I knew you were working. Thoughts? Were you able to catch some of that? Oh, wait, you were still muted. I got you on courtesy mute. Check. Okay.
Yeah, it's the one that helps us all the time. Sorry, I was dispatching.
No, I know. You got a job. Yeah, no.
You know how we do things here.
I mean, yeah, man, you got a job.
What'd you say the other day? How do I keep track of everything?
I don't know. You got like 4 heads. You know, you're like doing a show, running a business, on the phone with a friend.
Yeah.
By the way, DDD is here, Truckify, Moosey's here, Nina's here, Auto Hall Exchange is here.
Cool, awesome. Hey, everybody.
Did you catch any of the lawsuit stuff?
I heard a little bit of it, and I know it has to do kind of with what the other ones that were going on with the.
I don't even think I have a conclusion. Lawsuits, they're just going to always continue.
Yes.
And they're going to find something.
Yeah.
And the problem is the guy's driving. I'll put it in a nutshell. This guy's driving a brand new truck. Mm-hmm. The year is 2022. The truck is a 2023. Wow. Brand new.
Yeah.
He's driving, from what I gathered, a pickup with a trailer. Mm-hmm. Next famous car hauler kind of guy, right? Probably on his YouTube channel. Okay.
Yeah.
He starts veering in this guy's lane. So the guy, I guess, goes under the shoulder and rolls over. Okay, number one, don't do that.
Right. Right. Why would you do that?
Anybody want to question the operator's decision-making there?
Yeah.
Where did he roll to? What kind of... If you can't get onto a shoulder, isn't that in the DMV manual?
Yeah, you don't.
Again, I'm just saying, like...
Not the road to not hit a deer. Yeah.
I feel sorry. This is terrible. This is tragic. But, if you don't have somewhere to pull over too. Don't do it.
Right.
And the guy was just moving into his lane. I thought, until I read it again, I thought maybe this was boned at an intersection at high speed.
Right. No. So he didn't see the guy and started moving over, basically, is what it meant.
No, but here's the truck manufacturer. Again, because truckers are just guilty. All the time.
Automatically.
It's just automatically guilty. Get out. Get out of the business.
Yeah.
Don't make anything. Don't invent anything, because you will get sued. Just don't do it. No hats, no cats, no mugs. Don't do it. Man dies by mug. Company sued out of existence. Okay. All right. Jeez. Hey, we need you to send the picture. Okay. A broker says to a driver.
Oh, wow.
Or a dispatcher or whatever. We need you to send a picture of the driver's CDL, as well as a picture of them in front of the truck with the MC and DOT number clearly visible. I need your driver to write 1426 on a paper or anything available. Hold it up while in front of the truck. Once I have this, I can dispatch the load.
That might be just a tad much. Okay.
We need to. Wow.
I mean, so I know why they're doing it is because
I know why
they want to make sure it's really the driver that's there, but good Lord, that's a little much.
Well, and if we're here, oh my gosh. I mean, how are we even gonna conduct business anymore?
No, yeah, because he don't have time to do that.
Okay, I need you to go to this mailbox at 3rd and Main. It's the 3rd red mailbox. Once you
there will
get
be a
there,
red box in there.
Call this number and say magic. Okay. From there, you'll be given further instructions.
Well, remember the company that did where they sent me a code through Central and told me to give them the code. I get that part of it. I mean, that's easy peasy to make sure it's going to the right person. And here's the thing. We had a discussion today about this. Because this guy was wanting me to email him over the release. And I said, no. That's why Central has added it so we can put documents on there to stop the fraud that is happening by emailing it to people. It's attached on there. And that's what I'm using as the reasoning, because that's how I think the releases were going through the internet and somehow getting stolen and whatever fraud is happening because of it. And that's the only way I'm going to do it from now on. If you can't figure out how to get the document, I'm probably not going to give you the load just because of that. On top of it, how many times do we get said, we're sending you the release via email, and it never comes through because they've screwed up your email at least 10 times, and you're waiting for it over and over again and checking your spam. Isn't this much easier? This is one of my positive things for Central Dispatch that we were going to talk about.
Good. Let's move into that. Jake, we got another few minutes here. Okay. Sue and I have to talk about the beef.
Okay.
Yeah, it's time to do the beef. And by the way, so Dan said, can I mark an invoice paid? Can you not do that?
That would be nice.
You can't do that?
No, you cannot do that.
What?
No, that's why they call you and they ask you. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Wow.
Probably most, say 90% of the people are not going to go on Essential and mark this paid, but it would be really handy so that they're not calling you and asking.
And this brings us back to the Taco Bell.
Yeah.
If you're going to order your food at Taco Bell, and as soon as you get your food, you run out of the restaurant over to McDonald's to eat it, do you think there's a problem? Anybody want to ask why that's happening? Shouldn't your users be marking their invoices paid in the system they used to get the load? At what point did they stop using the system? Does that... Anybody? I mean, in the giant conference room, doesn't anybody want to ask? No. It's going to be a no. You were going to say.
Well, that was one of my complaints is that...
But you have good things to say, too.
Well, the first one was what I said, which is that you can go on there and do that. Now, I can't remember what was the first one I had. I just told you two positive things.
Well, you had... Okay, here's what you don't like. You told me that when you're searching for loads...
When I'm searching for loads that somebody has done for me as a broker. In fact, let's show the page so everybody can see, because I am not the only one having a problem with this.
Do I have the page?
I don't know, but I've got my page up.
Oh yeah, you can share it. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Great. And then Jake, hang on 5 minutes. We're going to be with you. We just want to finish up the beef of the day. Thursday beef.
Okay.
Hot and fresh.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. To the left you have not signed, dispatched, picked up, delivered, canceled, archived.
We're seeing your email. Show your other screen.
Well, you don't want to need my email.
That's all good.
How do I do that? How do I get it to change? You may have to shut it off and turn me back on. I don't know.
Well, what you want to do then is, if you...
Here we go.
Oh, you can change the screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to make me accessible again. It says I can't.
Okay, go ahead and try again.
All right. Now, this should be the screen. I hope.
That's all good.
Is that right now?
Now we're watching Netflix. Okay, yeah, we're good to go. All right.
Something good. Anyways,
Yeah.
All right. So the left you can see not signed, dispatched, picked up, delivered, canceled, archived. That's fantastic. I like that. But say, for example, now keep in mind, I'm a small broker. There's brokers that are going to have thousands of these already on here. So say I want to look for a specific customer or specific driver that did a load for me. And who can I use? I don't know if I should name names, but anyways, so I put in company name. It just goes alphabetical. Okay. So that means you're going through all of these to get to that person. All right. I don't have delivered. So there's more.
Oh, so I can't put in like any specific search term because I know it's
used
Georgia
to be you could put in, you got
whatever.
to choose company name, you got to choose order ID, you got to choose picked up city, picked up state, delivered city, and delivered state. So you could find it either way. Because if for some reason we didn't know the name of the company, but we knew what kind of car it was. Yeah, you could put in auto too. Like if I picked up a Mazda, I could go put in Mazda and bring up every Mazda I'd ever bought.
Okay, so you could type in a search term.
Right, and now you
narrow
cannot
the
do anything.
search. Can't
You
do
can
that
do
now?
this. You see where it says delivery pickup, but it's all alphabetical. It's not specific. I can't type in we picked up in Atlanta. So you literally have to scroll. So I'm putting in picked up. You have to scroll through all the picked up addresses. Yeah, they're in alphabetical order, but who has time for that, right?
Do you think they missed this, or what do you think's going on?
I'm sure they missed this because they don't think like we think when it comes down to
Please fix it.
Yes, please fix it.
Is that what's going on? Please fix it.
It's a major ordeal. It's going to be. And then my other question is this. Up at the top, you see it says our old dispatch page will be retired soon.
Oh, no. No.
So every dispatch we've ever made is gone?
No.
I hope not.
I am telling you. Okay, now I'm mad.
Yeah,
okay?
I am really
You just
upset if
made me
that's going to
mad.
be the case.
Because I don't care if it's Verizon or Dropbox or who it is. Do not delete the past.
Yeah.
I want access to the past. We live in a digital world. You can't delete part of my digital life.
Right.
Why?
Well, and the thing about it is I use
Please
old loads
don't do that.
to
servers
look
and
up
hard drives aren't that expensive.
Well, and think about it this way. I have say I have a customer that hasn't hauled a car for 2 years. They call me up. I can usually just look up their name or look up whatever city they picked up so I can get their information. If this is gone, that means you'll never be able to access it again, which is a bunch of BS. Because I know this isn't our load board per se, like it's
but that's another reason to run out of the restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, we're paying for it. That's what we're paying for, is to keep all of our information there for us. Because, and it's not just me as a broker. Let's say as a transporter, they transported a car 2 years ago, and the customer's calling them because they want them to transport it personally. They'll never be able to find that load either, because if they're going to get rid of it, all of that information is gone up until when they switched us on August 14th. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy to me that you would delete all this information.
And you just said something really important. That's part of what a consumer, a user is paying for.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to offer a software that allows you to do business, be prepared to never go out of business.
Right.
If you do, I lose my stuff.
Right.
You think QuickBooks sends a little memo, hey, we're going to delete the last year or so because, we're QuickBooks and we just want to do that. Listen,
and I mean, and we could be completely wrong, but I don't know how else you're supposed to read it.
I'm sure we're wrong about something.
Well, because it says, going to retire, to me means it's...
You guys are being emotional, and, it's pathetic, really.
But, anyways.
Yeah, but we're begging you not to delete the past.
Yes.
Please.
And please fix the other part so that we can go in there and put in a company name to find them instead of scrolling for hours looking for a specific load.
Even if you need to put our old loads on microfiche, and then we go to the library and we check out the little cards and we go
don't do that
slides and the micro, it's a great place for COVID. All right, do me a favor. Stick around. Right after this, we're going to be live with Jake Berkal of Auto Hauler Exchange. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verifications of loads where nobody ever answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021, or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Auto Hauler Exchange has revolutionized the way vehicle haulers and vehicle shippers collaborate. The Exchange B2B marketplace connects vehicle haulers directly to shippers in a frictionless manner. The Exchange helps vehicle haulers maximize their capacity while eliminating empty miles. The Exchange is the first true B2B marketplace of its kind in the vehicle logistics industry. By connecting carriers and shippers directly, carriers can save time and choose which opportunities fit their needs each day. At the same time, shippers can rest assured that their vehicles are being moved by qualified, vetted carriers who fit their vetting program. The Auto Hauler Exchange has democratized the vehicle logistics industry by eliminating the middlemen and connecting shippers directly to available carriers.
Why does a broker get a percentage of every load you move when clearly you could be working directly with carriers? Go around the broker. Get faster car shipping. Visit AutoHaulerExchange.com. All right, here we go. We have Jake is with us. Jake from Auto Hauler Exchange. Jake, can you see me and hear me? What's going on? How you doing?
I got you, buddy. I got you. How are you?
It's great to have you back.
I've missed you, man. It's been a minute.
I know. All right, here we are, and we're going to jump right in. What we're talking about is, how do you use Auto Hauler Exchange? How does it work? What does it do? Let's say you're new to it, and you want to learn soup to nuts. Jake is here to do, relative soup to nuts. The best we can do, right? We got a limited amount of time, but we're going to jump right in. So, Jake, why don't you say hello and tell us a little bit more what we're going to do today?
Guys, happy to be back. Jay, thank you. Sue, good to, I think, officially meet you.
Yeah.
The whole idea of Auto Hauler Exchange is a true business-to-business marketplace where carriers and shippers can directly connect and work together. The ecosystem and convolution of the middleman isn't necessary in our eyes. So it is a true marketplace. Shippers are marketing their opportunities directly to the carrier network, right? There's no squeezing of both ends. What you see is the price directly uploaded from that shipper, the gate passes, the notes, and then we'll talk about some other intangible stuff that we have in here that just is a one-stop shop for the carrier network that we've built and we're continuing to grow with.
So, all right, I was over here hitting a button. All right, so what's great is that this is a unique offering. You have something here where cutting out middlemen is an interesting thing because it's like, oh, you can't, don't.
Why not?
This is corporate America. Exactly. Yeah. Why, if they don't need to be there, why have them there?
True.
And we see this in all other supply chains of commerce. Look what Amazon did. Amazon cut out a bunch of stores, a bunch of stuff. You still get it super fast. This can be done.
And to your point, Jay, it allows these carriers to operate how they want to operate. They can route plan. They can set up a day, a week, a month in advance. It really, truly allows these guys to work. And again, I'm going to keep saying work directly with the shipper. And then opportunities that a lot of these smaller carriers might not have the opportunity to work for. You mentioned that the picture of the gentleman and his wife working for an OEM. They can't float the net 60, right? Working through the platform, working through Auto Hauler Exchange allows them to do that because we will pay the carrier. And we're going to pay them faster and more efficiently than some of these big OEMs that, again, are going to have crazy terms. So it really opens the door to the opportunities that unfortunately just wouldn't get, in the older models.
So let's talk, hey, shippers and carriers. Who should be using Auto Hauler Exchange?
Carriers. Yep. So the big thing and the big differentiator with Auto Hauler Exchange is it is a true marketplace. We are not brokering this freight. There is no brokering of the opportunities. So shippers consisting of OEMs, dealership groups, whoever, are going in, utilizing the technology, uploading that opportunity, and the carriers who can go in. There's no fee to be a part of the exchange. It is a completely free platform for the carrier network. Go in, and if the opportunity works, the price is right, and it's at a market value that is enticing enough to the carrier, book it, check it out, and you're on your way. So it's truly open to all carriers that pass the vetting process that we have in place currently.
And I'm not saying, I know that many carriers have great relationships with brokers, and I'm not saying abandon those relationships.
No.
But there are situations we've talked about where brokers post the load lower than it'll get moved now to see if they can make that extra money on the spread, right? And
Yep.
that is not helping the shipper.
No.
Correct.
It's happening right now.
Yeah.
And it also takes in time too, because they're going to keep the price, lower to find the lowest, accepting carrier, which sometimes is going to take more time. And as we all know, for some of these dealership groups, dwell time is a real factor for them. So for the carriers to make more money and for the dealership groups to get their vehicles quicker, it's a win-win for both parties.
And I mean, if I were to walk into a room full of shippers and say, whose load is needlessly sitting there, you're paying enough.
You're going to see some hands go up.
Yeah. And that's pretty freaky. And I also, I think, as we talk about competitive, competition improves innovation, this will help some brokers justify what it is that they do.
Absolutely.
That's okay.
We're up for the challenge.
Yeah. Let's do this. So I think this is pretty neat. So, all right, so we talked about the why, and let's get into the how. When you're ready, share your screen. Let's say I'm brand new. There's going to be somebody right now who doesn't even know what you're talking about. So they go to autohaulerexchange.com. Is that right?
Yep. Do me a favor. Do not mind the beginning part. It is autohaulerexchange.com. So what I'm kind of playing in right now is our sandbox, so to speak. Right.
Yep.
Auto Hauler Exchange. It's as simple as you guys showed earlier in the show. We're clicking sign up, and as a carrier, it's taking you to a page where it is information that I'm hoping most have readily available. It's an email address, DOT, MC, your company email, name, and phone number. Okay, we're not asking for social security. We're not asking for a bunch of craziness.
Thank goodness. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
And then, of course, there are some intangibles. Now that as we've grown, there is some cross-border opportunities, and it just helps us, keep track of what carriers are, either quick card accessible, Canadian border, Mexican border, all that kind of good stuff.
And I'm just going to read it because the box is not taking up the full screen. I'm just going to read. You got email. Here's to sign up for Auto Hauler Exchange. You got your email address, your DOT number, which pretty much everybody has that on hand, right?
Yep.
Your MC number, again, you should pretty much have that on hand. Your company name, your first name, your last name, and your phone number. That is very easy.
Yes.
That's it.
Wow. And then you can choose, yeah, I got a TWIC card. I do Canada border. I do Mexican border. I like those options. That's pretty cool. Then you got to click, I'm not a robot. That's pretty normal. Because if you're a robot, this isn't going to work out.
It's just, not yet.
It's gonna
who
be
knows with AI and everything one day.
Right, never know.
You know, self-driving trucks, who knows?
Cool. Okay, so now you're ready for the next screen.
Now you're in, and I'm going to log in, obviously, real quick, because I have everything.
And what happens when you sign up? Do you get an email that you reply to?
You're going to get an email. It's going to say, hey, we're running through, your DOT. And for safety of the carrier group, for the safety of the shipper group, we are vetting our carrier network, right? We are just, it's a third party system.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop your screen. Yeah, you're vetting. Okay, let's talk, because that's important. Shippers want to know that.
Yep.
You are vetting. In what way? What does that look like?
So we're taking, certificate of insurance. We're monitoring that. If it's going to lapse within a certain period of time, carrier gets a polite reminder email saying, hey, look, your insurance is going to lapse. Please update, or, unfortunately, the account will be shut down until it is re-uploaded. It's simple, and it gives you the link. It tells you where to re-upload everything, the new cert, so you guys are good there. It's checking DOT authority, FMCSA scores, driver fitness, those kinds of things. Just like, a carrier group, they want to make sure that these loads are real, which they all are, because they're coming directly from the source, directly from the shipper. We also want to make sure that this ecosystem is healthy, right? That the carrier group, the shipper group are all living, together and are properly vetted and can haul the opportunities.
Great. Yeah, that's important to the shipper. All right, I took your screen. You please do take it back.
All right.
All right, cool. So I'm signed in. And who gets the, how does their certificate get to you?
That's through our third-party system. So they can upload it,
so
and then we'll be able to, exactly.
Awesome. Okay.
Very, very simple.
And if I'm new, do I need to wait like 60 days?
No, you're pretty instantaneous.
Really?
It's about, if everything clears through that third-party vetting system, you're in about 5 minutes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Same day? Wow. Okay.
If all checks out through the vetting system, absolutely.
Right.
And then we can even let you know, which a lot of these guys know. So, hey, sometimes it will come back and say, hey, unfortunately, you didn't pass X, Y, and Z. We have our carrier team that has no problem saying, hey, look, here's what happened, and this is why. It sometimes is a very simple fix. Otherwise, there's some issues, with your DOT or your authority or something like that. And when it gets straightened out, we're happy to have you.
Awesome. That's
really
cool.
Is constantly being monitored. So we want to make sure that, as your longevity in auto hauler exchange, we would just want to make sure that everything is on the up and up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So what we're looking at is the marketplace, right? We're looking at the opportunities that are directly posted by the shipper. We can do your city state for your origin. We can do your city state zip for your destination. You can expand the mileage radius of what you're looking at, right? If you're saying I need to be within 10 miles of Newark, New Jersey, or 25 miles of Newark, New Jersey, what opportunities are in that area that I can go ahead and look at? That's all customizable to you guys. Something cool is, single or truckload. If you're a 5, if you're a 9, if you're a 3, right? They can be grouped accordingly. Now, this is up to the shipper, right? So the shipper, if they have 3 units, they're probably going to group them as 3 units, and then other opportunities are out there for you to take a look at. Something cool that, I personally haven't seen is a direct account for these carriers to kind of live and have their own, just have all their information there readily available. So you can go through your order history. You can see if invoices have been paid. You can go in and check, because right now you're kind of at the whim of emails and just waiting for a check to clear. This is real time for the carriers. They can see everything here. Managing your drivers, which we'll get into when you check out a load. But if you have several drivers, and that's huge, because when a carrier checks out, we're giving that direct connection to the shipper, right? If you're, If Jay's trucking and Jay, you're the driver, we want the shipper to be able to contact you and say, hey, look, I'd love for you to drop this right outside of service. Or, we want them to check hours. We want that direct connection between the shippers and the carriers. ELD tracking is a big thing now, right? This is another thing that helps both the shippers and the carriers. If we can look at the truck and we can say, hey, look, he's 25 minutes away, it saves both parties that phone call to say, hey, what's the ETA? Hey, where are you at? Well, they can pull this up on the shipper side and see exactly where the truck is. And then when that vehicle is closed out, that unit is delivered, you're done. But this is just one mandate from the shippers that is a safety thing for the shippers and also for the carrier, right? The liability of carrying a car is great, and we want to make sure that all parties are safe at all times. We go back to the board, we'll talk about this kind of bid system. We all know, hey, you find a load on Central, they want to call, they're going to see what they can squeeze out of it. What we built in here is, again, the shippers are directly posting this. This is not posted by anyone at AHX. This is directly coming from the shipper, and these are the prices that they think are within the market. If they're not, we can simply go and say, hey, I want to take this vehicle, but I need more money. I want to see if I can squeeze, if more money is available on this load. We can simply bid and what your bid amount is. If you need $350 to move this load successfully and that's what you need, well, let's give it a shot. We do require that you put in your pickup ETA window and delivery ETA window, because again, time is quite literally money to the shipper network. And if it works, right, you can place your bid. Well, that might not be what the shipper has, right? So it's all dependent on how they go and how they upload their units. But that just tells you, hey, this is where the price is that. And on the flip side of everything, the shipper is going to get a notification saying, hey, there was a bid at $350. Like, do you want to take it? Yes or no? And then they can get that notification that, boom, that vehicle has been tendered over to them. They get all the notes. If you're good with that $300, we can simply book. And now we're at our checkout spot. This is where we can see the origin, destination, pickup hours, delivery hours. And then once everything is properly checked out, you have any notes that the shipper provides. So saying that they can pick up on certain dates, unit location, if there is night drops, where they want the keys, all that kind of stuff will be given to the driver. And this is where we're talking about that driver setup, right? If you have multiple drivers and say Jake's picking up this one, perfect. This vehicle is no weekends, right? We're telling you all this information up front so you can best route your drivers or yourself for that matter. Dispatcher, and then same thing with those delivery pickup in windows and delivery windows.
Can I set at like a 3 or 4 hour delivery window and not a 1 hour? Can I do that?
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. I like, 1 hour is kind of tight, but
it is tight. That is just what it defaults to. And this is where we encourage our carrier group. But listen, if you are accurate and you give us a good window, chances are you're not getting a call, right? If you're between the time you say you're going to pick up, perfect. Everyone's happy. It's when we get, well past that sometimes we have issues. But then you still have the information to directly connect to that shipper, right? Hey, Jay, I'm going to be, just about 35 minutes past given ETA. Is vehicle still available? This, that, and the other. Yep, perfect, cool. And you're good to go.
Well, and that's, as a dispatcher, and that's what you do. You try to anticipate, and then you communicate.
Absolutely.
What's it like setting up the ELD? Is that pretty easy?
That's simple. It's just your ELD information, and you're gone.
Cool. That's cool.
And then again,
go ahead.
The big part with that is we want to just, it eliminates the dispatcher's work, because again, you can see exactly where that vehicle is. And, the shipper's not calling saying, hey, where you at? Because we all know eventually that does get a little tiring. So eliminate the phone calls that aren't necessary, and the information is right there for everyone.
Well, that's what I was going to say about the tracking and the ELD. I know that there's still a lot of apprehension. I understand.
Understandable.
As a human being. But in business, that whole transparency, it's more than a conversation now. It's like, where are you?
It's almost mandatory, right?
Yeah, it's becoming that way.
And that's what there's a push for that from the shipper network. And
very much so. You can hear them, right?
Absolutely.
When you talk to a shipper, they're not waffling on tracking, are they? Like, they're like, where is it? Isn't it? They assume.
Yes.
When you make a phone call, you assume there's a way to make voicemail, right?
Right.
When you book a load as a shipper, when you're having somebody pick up and deliver your load, you're assuming they can be tracked.
And you got to understand from the standpoint, and like we do some POVs, privately owned vehicles. People want to know where their property is, and I can't fault them for that.
I don't either. That's why I talk this way. Like, I feel like I'm trying to help make the case of, listen, it's just the way, that's the world we live in now. And we all have cell phones. You're being tracked anyways. If there's somebody tracking you that you don't want them tracking you, they're the ones that are tracking you the most. So this shipper just wants to know.
He just wants to know where his property is at. That's
Number one, they want to make sure you're in the right state at the estimate, right? That's a minimum, because they don't even know that. Are you still in the state? Okay, good. Beyond that, they're not zooming in. Let's talk about tracking for a second. Do you know the specificity? Can they see you sitting in the chair? I don't think so, right?
No. I mean, they're going to get a broad,
30
tracking is
estimate?
such where, it's an estimate. I mean, it's going to ping. I'm not going to, from where it pings every 5 minutes, as you move along the route, they can see, they're not going to be able to see into the cab or anything like that. But hey, you're coming into, into Detroit, Michigan, and you're in Toledo, Ohio. Okay, I know roughly you're an hour and a half, 2 hours out.
Yep.
And I believe the shipper's only going to go to tracking if you've gone MIA.
Right.
Nobody has time to watch this stuff.
Exactly right.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. So we got booking a load. We kind of went through that stuff, and then did we miss any other screens? I took the screen away.
Yeah. So.
Okay, great.
I can go back, and this is.
Yeah, please do. Great. If you're watching, if you're tuning in, this is ATI, and we're live with Jake at Auto Hauler Exchange, learning more about how to sign up, book loads, and use it. And if you have a question, please do put it in the live chat.
Something's going to be hard.
You got me back?
I got you back.
Perfect. So we just checked out that load, right? Simple, put in the dates, and you're gone. One thing I do really want to mention is how mobile accessible the website is, right?
Awesome.
It's not
I was going to ask you.
So this was our development team is incredible. They made it so what you see on the desktop is going to be almost exactly what you see on your phone, on your tablet. We found we've kind of ran the analytics. Most shippers are uploading through a desktop. Most carriers are the opposite. They're going through a tablet, they're going through a mobile device. So, and everyone knows a website, right? They're not apples to apples. You have to expand, you have to really look in. No, we made it so that it is a mirrored image from what you're going to see on the desktop to make it very, very easy for the carrier group.
And so Macropoint, let's just point that out. You download the Macropoint For Truckers app.
And that's what's going to go, so we're moving to the ELD. The ELD is mandatory as we set up new carriers. Now, Macropoint was essentially the older version of that, right? That went to the driver's cell phone, which is why driver information was so important. And when that happened, when you put in the driver phone number, they get a message, hey, here's the load that is associated with, and we're tracking that way. ELD is that much more simple for the drivers, is that much more accurate because we know cell service, this, that, and the other. And, it's just a much more efficient way of doing it. So one thing we do have is to confirm the tender offer, right? That is just showing you, hey, we agreed, we're going to move this vehicle. We all know what a tender offer is. That's nothing new.
But I like that. Confirm tender offer. I mean, I like specifics. And that's great.
And then the thing that's huge for the carrier group is those order details. This is what I was talking about when those notes come into play. I mean, here are your notes for pickup. I mean, here are your notes for delivery. We want to make sure that
I like notes too. Huge.
It is clear, right? You want to be able to
Yes.
go in, you want to be able to check out and be gone. And that again, from the shipper side of things,
Good.
we tell these guys, hey, as granular as you can get. If you want a vehicle in spot A outside of service, put the keys in the drop box on the west side of the building. Put that in there.
Yes,
I
know.
Because what that does,
these are good notes right here.
and what it eliminates the guesswork. Drivers have it. You guys have it hard enough, right? They're loading in rain, sleet, snow. You don't want to have to be running around the building trying to find out where to drop the keys. This is a carrier-centric marketplace. You know, we are building this out for the carriers. We want this to be easy. We want you guys to turn and burn and make the money, right?
I just came up with a suggestion.
Bring it.
Here's a note. There'd be a great button for a voice to read the notes.
I love that.
Read the notes. Yeah, I just came up with it. That'd be cool. Because, the driver doesn't want to read it. Just read me the notes.
Love that. And that's a thing that I think is and that I know sets us apart from other, well, we're really we are the only marketplace, business to business marketplace going right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time is we love the feedback. Like we have feedback from our shippers. Hey, it would be so much easier if I had this when I was uploading, right? We've had carriers. I mean, there's stuff in the platform right now that, hey, we don't have boots on the ground all the time. Let us know what makes your life easier. And if it can be done, absolutely we're going to do it, because if it helps you, I'm darn sure it's going to help, hundreds, if not thousands of other drivers out there. So why wouldn't we do it? We love the feedback.
So this is, let's say I'm in the app. This is my load. I can see this inside the app, right?
Yeah, you'd be able to click, go right into this.
Cool.
Route preview, and if I can go back even, or let's just do this.
And I think Muzi, right? See, and that's why I asked. Okay, that's why I made the voice notes. Notes are important, but I know what you mean. At some point, it's like, man, I don't have time to read a 3-page essay.
100%.
So this is the art of dispatching, is to provide the information in the way the carrier needs it to expedite.
But hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Do you see on there that they put no weekends? I
did see that. I know.
Nobody
and it's a
does
bright
that.
button. I know. It's brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant.
You always have to find
I've
out.
never seen that before.
After
you always get there, you get excited, and look, we know, like, you probably don't hate driving on the weekends or dropping after hours because it's that much easier, right?
Yeah,
Traffic
right.
is less, congestion is less. So if the shipper is able to do it, well, then go for it. But if not, there are rules and regulations. Let them know that ahead of time before you get too into the weeds of your route planning, which kind of brings me into what we have here is, like, we can expand that. I wish I would have done this earlier, but you get a good idea right off the hop of what you're getting. Hey, this is a 2000 Ford F-150, 4-wheel drive, single axle. Here's basically where it's going from business to business. There are options for auction and residential.
Awesome.
We all know residential. Hey, maybe I can't get a 9-car in there, but that might deter me in one way or the other, but at least I know.
Right.
Vehicle weight, dimensions.
Yeah.
We all know how important that is.
Oh, man. I love that. And I like the box that tells the 4-wheel drive, single rear wheel axle.
Right.
Like, that kind of stuff is pretty good.
Yeah.
Truck,
Brakes,
yeah. Somebody's going to
hydraulic brakes, all that kind of stuff is in there as well for you guys.
What about, does it tell you if it's a crew cab, long bed, short bed?
It will. Well, it'll also be in the dimensions.
It's dimensions. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. That's
Right.
awesome.
And then,
Yeah, that is awesome.
Because we always have to ask when we call, and then half the time they don't know if it's a long bed or short bed at all.
Sure.
So, and that makes a big difference on a 3-car carrier, whether something's going to fit or not, if it's a long bed or a short bed.
100%. And this, again, is just our same kind of, it's just an expanded version of what you just saw. And then the route preview. So you can see, hey, there's 4 more loads here. Right? We have the heat map that's showing you,
like that.
Where these vehicles are, where you can kind of route plan. And as it gets bigger and bigger, right, it's just going to be more and more opportunities. We even have it, and I don't know if you saw on the checkout button that there was a checkbox to say, hey, notify me when another vehicle on this lane gets posted.
That's awesome.
Yeah. How
and
do you
don't
get
charge
notified?
for it, right?
Oh, yeah. So
problem.
in what way does a driver get notified? Do they get
email?
An email, okay.
So you will get an email saying, hey, you want to run this, you love this lane, you love Tennessee to Wisconsin, right?
Gotcha.
That is your bread and butter, that is your jam. Click the button. So every time this happens, and shippers are creatures of habit, right? They're
totally
buying
are.
from the same auction. They know the process. If it's easy, they're going to do it.
Yep.
Granted, AHX, we're trying to expand their carrier network on the shipper side, but in the same aspect, look, if you can just go in and get notified, hey, there's another Tennessee to Wisconsin, boom, I'm jumping in, I'm grabbing it, I'm gone, right?
So that's awesome. There's no fee for that, right?
There's no what?
There's no fee for that, right?
No, there is.
But everybody else does.
There is no fee for a carrier to be on auto hauler exchange.
No, I mean to be notified of another load.
You don't have to pay
I'm
extra.
just being facetious because there's other places that charge you for that.
Many other places, every box you check that's a fee.
Cash.
Right?
Cash.
Just checking the box. Checking the box fee.
Yeah. One of my favorite is a carrier-centric marketplace. Right?
So that's awesome.
That is what we are.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody else can say that. Truly.
I don't believe so.
I want to talk about running lanes for a second, and we'll let you go in a few. Is that you said something really important. Shippers are creatures of habit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's so much focus on the truck and insurance and costs and all this stuff that I think that, and we've talked about this a lot on ATI through the years, is that building a lane really shouldn't be that hard. I'm not saying it's easy. I know it's difficult to set up relationships and all that. It is. But shippers are creatures of habit, and they continue to do the same things on a regular basis. There's some changes, but then there's some things that are just the same. They go to the same auctions. What do you think? What do you think a shipper wants to learn a new auction every week? No. They're going to buy. Once they find what works, they keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And those are perfect loads for auto hauler exchange. You don't need brokers in the middle playing the spread. No. He just did this 2 weeks ago. He's going to do it again in 2 weeks. And he's going to do it again in 2 weeks. And guess what? He's going to do it again in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And you could be the guy that does it every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, we don't want any gatekeeping of what opportunities carriers see, right? If it's an opportunity, you should be able to see it. You should be, the captain of your own ship if you want to get cheesy, right? But make your decision based on what best fits your company and your needs. If it's there, great. If it doesn't work for you, I guarantee you there's going to be something that does fall into place for you.
Jake, thank you so much. This was really informative, and that went really fast. You believe that?
It's only quick because it's simple, right? Yeah. It's so simple, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you do for the community, man. Anytime I can jump on and help you guys out, I am happy to do it.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jake. And before I let you go, let me just say this. Here, let's do this. I'm going to share the website. If you're new and you're just jumping in, you've been busy dispatching and sweating at IAA, go to autohaulerexchange.com, get signed up, and if you got a question, you can call 248-480-9874. And if you prefer email, you guys have a general...
Click the support button, Jay, right there.
Click the support. Oh,
because I just sent him an email.
Oh, nice. So click support. Oh, and you can go right in here and fill out this form and send him an email.
Yep.
Awesome. And then I think there's also carrier at... Is it carrier
at auto hauler X as an X-ray?
Auto hauler X. Carrier at auto hauler X. I'm a big fan of multiple forms of communication and reaching people, so that's great. We got it all.
We love to hear from our carrier group. Again, feedback is welcomed.
Maybe you're not ready to sign up. Contact, right?
Go for it.
Ask the questions. Say, I was watching ATI and I got a stumper.
Bring it.
Bring it.
This is why we do it.
Yeah, this is awesome. All right, Jake, man, that was awesome. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, I'll put you in the waiting room, and Sue and I will wrap out the show. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Again, I just want to say that I think, man, you imagine if we could do a show like that with every mobile app and dashboard. Yes. It would be amazing.
It would.
I can't. It boggles my mind that more companies aren't just banging down the door. But whatever. Maybe there's a reason.
You know what I think the reason is?
Yeah, tell me.
Because they think they have too many shippers as it is, too many transporters. That's why.
And that's what's funny. As soon as the phone rings, and they're asking if you can pick up a load that's 1,500 miles away, you know it isn't true.
Right.
Right. So what happened there? Or if everybody's ordering food at your restaurant, and as soon as they get their food, they're running out of the place. There's an issue.
Yeah.
And even, you know what? I was advertising ClearPath TMS, and in that email Tuesday, I got a reply from a big company.
Really?
Saying, Jay, can I talk to you about logistics AI?
Oh.
And who I should be looking at, what I might be missing. And they already do work with a company, but they just know that they need to kind of broaden. The point is, there's so much up for grabs out there. And too many people are still guessing. And as the revolving door of carriers continues, think of how many new carriers have no idea what's going on.
They don't. That's why I get a lot of newbies, because we help them get through that process.
Right.
It's a pain.
What are some common newbie questions that you get?
Well, since we always set them up with everybody, I mean, the first thing when they call to ask is, how do I get set up with brokers? And we always set you up with the brokers as you're allowed to be set up. And honestly, you're right. There's nothing anywhere that you can look up to find how to sign up and who to sign up with. I mean, if you're new, you're just looking you get signed up with Central Dispatch, if you know that much, and then you just see everything on there and you're like, what do I do now?
And then when you find out there are videos, they're not the videos that really got you going.
No.
I don't know what they are. I think they talk about kind of in general terms.
Yeah.
And I just want to add this too, and then is that I lost my thought. I can't believe that. It's because I talk so much. I write these notes. I try to keep track of, sometimes the juggler drops the ball.
For example, most people don't find out that they have to sign up with a company until they call somebody on Central Dispatch and find out that you have to sign up with that company and they don't hold the load. And it's a process.
Well, that's a good point. Wouldn't that be great? That should be on the...
It should be.
Whoa, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like this broker...
requires sign up or whatever.
Yeah, contact broker to book
sign up if you're
something.
not. Yeah. Like Secured Auto always puts on there, unless you've been in business for 2 years, don't call me, kind of thing.
Do they put that in the notes? Where do they put it?
Yeah, it says must be business for 2 years.
So here's what I was gonna say. I've noticed this throughout the years. Like 3 of the top 5 search terms of ATI contain the word Central Dispatch.
Oh, well.
Like this is where carriers and dispatchers have been coming for years to learn about Central Dispatch. Why would that be? Why don't they go to Central Dispatch?
Because they can't get help there.
For whatever reason, they're not finding the information that they think they need.
No.
And that's just, and then so you take that and you apply that to, so many other companies.
Well, I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years.
Weird.
I started with Central Dispatch. They hadn't been in business that long. And yet I still didn't know what was going on the 14th.
Well, that's why I started this channel, because somebody showed me how to use it, and I'm like, okay, so where did you learn it? And they're like, well, somebody showed me. I'm like, okay, so this is a word-of-mouth education business.
Yeah, I just winged it.
What?
When I first found it, I had to just wing everything.
And almost all businesses did start as word-of-mouth, but today... If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, you don't. Hey, buddy, here's what I know. No, you get an education.
Right. So you're right. They need an education.
It's weird, yeah. And they're learning. Everybody's learning.
Yeah.
But I think we've got the. I think we got the winning formula here. So.
Yeah.
It's exciting. So that was a great show. Great job, Jake. Thank you, Sue. It is 1:05, so let's call it a day.
Okay.
Let's see here. We've got next week is the 26th. Oh, we're going to do fraud and due diligence in auto transport with a maybe previous broker, maybe still broker,
Okay.
not sure. Need to make sure that show is still going. Meaning this is a, how do you talk about fraud and due diligence in a meaningful way? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's next week. Good luck. Good luck with that, guys. All right, thanks a lot, Sue. Have a great one. And what do we say, office?
Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care. We'll see you next week.
All right.
Okay, bye.